Okay, Gawkin, here's the truth. You need to panic. It will be the end of the world. No one will have a job. No one will have any money. And computers and robots will enslave us. That is what is going to happen. I have predicted it. So what you need to do now is sell all your possessions, get out in the street, run around naked, and panic. Scream at the moon, because it's all going to hell in a handbasket. Okay, that's what you need to understand. Gawkin, my friend, Gawkin, don't be fooled. Now listen, I'm not asking you to take my word at anything. All I'm asking you to do is look at history. How many major disruptive things, like technological things, have come in and completely reshaped society, human society, like in the last 100 years? There's been many, right? I've seen at least 2 of those myself. I've lived through it. I remember a time people did business without a computer on their desk. Not to date myself, but that's when I started. Nobody knew how to use a computer. It was like working in a hydroponic center or a data center. It was like this weird thing that only strange people in lab coats could do, right? And you know what? Everybody predicted exactly the same thing. They predicted the end of the world. Everybody would be out of a job, right? Because computers could do everything by themselves, and they could do it like 1,000,000 times faster than a person. Why would you ever get a person to do it when you can get a computer, right? You know, the internet did the same thing. You know, information is free. It's going to be the end of the world. There'll be no more news. There'll be no more music. There'll be no more anything, right? And what happens every single time? Well, the first thing that happens is that everybody, well, not everybody, but some people panic. And they say it's going to be the end of the world. The world will be over. We'll all be living in a dystopia, right? That's the first thing they say. Okay, first they ignore it. Okay, that's the first thing they do. Then they panic, right? Some people panic, and they rabble rouse. They manage to influence people that are very impressionable to thinking this is the end of the world. And then what happens in the end? Nothing. Life goes on. We have slightly different tools. Things work a slightly different way, but generally, it's better. You know? When the automobile came in, think of all the horses they got rid of. Think of all the people who knew things like animal husbandry. They knew how to take care of horses. You know, all the supply chain for like feeding the horses, taking care of the horses, all the vets, everything. Huge industries were obliterated, right? But they were replaced with the automotive industry, the oil and gas industry. They built networks of highways and, things like, and in the end, it was better off for everyone. You know, there's always change, but you swing with it. Sometimes it's easier said than done, and it does affect people, a few people, in a major way that's bad temporarily. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. You don't have to panic, especially if you're young. You're going to be fine. That's all I can say. Do I have a crystal ball? No, but this is what I do know, and you can verify it. So you tell me, is this going to be different from every other innovation that we've ever made since the dawn of time? Or is it going to be just like all the other things that shaped the world even more significantly than this? You tell me that. Gawkin, you are awesome. Get some answers. Go observe things. But don't just believe panic mongers, You could go on YouTube, you can go on social networking. What they've done is they've taken the idea of news. News is a very negative thing because news, when it's a negative thing, people are more interested. It's like, what? Is this something I need to panic about? Right? Good news doesn't really travel. It's bad news that travels fast, like when it comes to reporting the news. So social networking is basically that on nitrous. It's like 10x that. So the way to get people to pay attention is to predict bad things and panic monger. And everyone does this. I have felt the temptation myself. I try not to do that, but I see other people in my space doing the same thing. It's like, oh my God, is this the end of everything? And then they get like 1 million views. It's tempting, but it's not true. It's sensationalism. What would be the best strategy? The best strategy is try and look at where things are going as much as you possibly can. And then don't bury your head in the sand. Be open-minded, embrace new things as they come. Some things are sort of experimental. They're just for enthusiasts. They're on the bleeding edge, right? But then things get more mainstream. And that's where you should start paying attention and check them out and see if you could use them. Some things aren't ready yet for everyone, but other things, there's a new way of doing things. There's a new resource available. Check it out, learn it, embrace it. And the world will never leave you behind.